This idiot activist thought she'd be Chicago's AOC, only to possibly end up living in Chicago's DOC. As just outside their federal building, several Democrats actively running.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
All right, you guys, I'm back, and I'm packing a mac at a back of the act, and I got a guest with me. I got the one and only Nathan U. Wheeler. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you.
Man, I'm sorry for dragging you to the deep end, but we got to go there. I got to keep up with these trending topics, and the best way is to not watch the fake mainstream news, so I watch YouTubers.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show. Now, we're checking this out from Decoy Voice. He's a personality on YouTube. I like him a lot, and this dude named Asmongold, who's a streamer. But let's watch this, and just when you see something and you want to talk, just start talking and I'll hit pause, because I might just pause too. I don't know what this is about, but so when I went on my cruise, my vacation that's been derailed,
Yeah.
I disconnected because normally I'm kind of tapped in on what's going on. I know the government's been shut down. That's insane. And there's just a bunch of things going on. So I've been trying to catch up. I know these ICE protests are like out of control. So let's just see what's good here. Hey, you guys, go check out Decoy Voice's channel. He just hit 1 million subs. Look, what I do isn't a substitute. Go check out the original. He has a ton of really good original content. We just catching up today. Here we go.
This idiot activist thought she'd be Chicago's AOC, only to possibly end up living in Chicago's DOC. As just outside their federal building, several Democrats actively running for election impeded on ICE's ability to enforce a law, where this cat girl running for Congress got tossed like she was on Alinity's live stream, to which getting lightly shoved basically became her entire personality.
This was, as I said, the third time that ICE has done this to me, but essentially a car was about to run.
And you still haven't figured it out? That's the third time? You still haven't figured it out?
Bro, I don't know how you feel about all this, but I've said this, and I say this because the internet is a wonky place. People get kind of crazy. Americans don't hate immigrants at all. What the problem is the way the government distributes our resources to non-citizens. And we're tired of it, and people are just like, hey, let's have the course correction, get everything out, start over again. That's it. It's really simple. It's not, we're these racist people that don't like brown people or whatever. And I just have I struggle because every time I say this, there's always going to be someone in my comment section that is just like, bro, these right-wing, bro, you're a MAGA something. And I'm like, dog, I'm not even a Trumper. This is just common sense.
Right.
This is insanity. Like, and then we live in a sanctuary state. And so, I didn't do any deep dives. You don't really have to see, like, I think federally we got funded, I think it was $180 million for the sanctuary stuff or immigrants or whatever. But then we were, I think, like 200 or 250 million in the deficit, our state.
Yeah. That's crazy. And, I don't know. I try not to.
Yeah, don't be divisive. Just,
you know what I mean?
Whatever.
But it's like when we look, I think a lot of people can look at like California, and I don't think anybody would objectively look at California and be like, hey, it's a really good way to run a state. Because similarly, they have issues with debt, they have issues with homeless, like they have a lot of things going on in their economy, primarily because of the way that it's being run. And seeing some of that here where we live, it's like, why are we trying to emulate something that has been inefficient, something that has clearly not worked?
Yeah.
That's where my brain went with that, but which is not necessarily in relation to this. But for me, when I see this lady, she's like, hey, this is the third time I've been thrown by ICE. It's like, yo, maybe just get out the way next time.
But isn't she running for I forgot what he said. She's like running for office. I thought that's what he said. I'm just like, bruh, this is insane, dude.
I thought it was like an analogy, not necessarily, like she may really be, but I didn't.
He's like, yeah, she running in the bottom of the street.
Yeah,
she running the bottom of that tank. All right, let's see what's going on.
Run over a fellow protester. And so I went to check on that person, and that was all the justification an officer needed to
that hurt her tailbone, yo.
Oh, yeah.
pick me up and throw me to the ground.
As this is allegedly her checking on someone about to be run over. They're actually campaigning on the right to sit in front of moving vehicles, as if this makes them some sort of a modern-day freedom fighter, ignoring the fact that she said this was the third time she'd been shoved aside.
Yo, me and you are close in age, and I just don't. This is the other thing I don't understand. I always learned, bro, run from the cops.
Yeah.
Do not, like, I would never in a million years be like, yo, what's up, copper? What you mean, cop? Like, you ain't doing shit. Like, she has more balls than me at this point because I'm like, bruh, I was not raised like that.
Straight up.
It's like, bro, oh shit, the cops are coming, dog.
All the way out the way. Like, all the way out the way.
Like, I'm like, where do I live, bro? This is just crazy to me.
She really thought this would illustrate how evil ICE is, instead of highlighting how she's too dumb to realize the first 2 times did nothing to stop ICE. But that won't make her stop trying, as later that same evening she was seen sitting on the same driveway, only to be later seen again blocking federal vehicles. To which she herself posted on social media to 10 million views. But now, the Department of Justice is indicting her over it, where she originally used this to campaign for Congress.
My name is Carla Ghazale. I'm running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois. The Department of Justice is charging 6 people, including myself, with federal crimes for exercising our First Amendment rights near ICE's Broadview Processing Center.
But the fact that she may go to prison over this is finally settling in.
What do you think about those charges, though? They seem really serious.
Yeah,
Conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer, assaulting or impeding that officer. Those are pretty big charges.
The charges, I think they're actually like slightly different, but no matter what the charges are in the indictment, I plan on pleading not guilty. And this is a political prosecution, plain and simple.
Yeah, just to be clear, the indictment alleges that you and others, quote, surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side, and impeded movement.
Yo, how can somebody like that even be running for there's so many things that are happening in this country that just kind of blow my mind, because like we have to have sovereignty, and if we don't have, and don't get me wrong, I've never been like the biggest fan of law enforcement. Like you said, growing up, like I'm going the other way. I don't want anything to do with them. But like at the same time, how are you going to be somebody whose job is to preserve the Constitution of the United States, and you won't even let the law enforcement officers who are there to enforce that do their job? Because
there's a difference, like protesting, and then they're going over there to try to stop them from arresting, whoever they need to arrest, and it's already their process. It's just, and I get it, because like me being an artist and like freedom of expression, bro, and blah blah blah, but it's just different now, man. Like I never, like when I grew up, people protested. That's what they did. I mean, civil rights, they protested. I missed the memo, but I don't remember people protesting on highways to actually stop traffic and stop the flow of things. Like people would lock arms and walk and show unity, but it's just, I don't know. It just seems really strange. And I don't know. I don't know where you get so brazen where you feel you can bang on someone else's property regardless. So if you're that brazen to bang on a cop's car, what the hell are you going to do to my car?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, dog, they're like the law.
Right.
Like, they're like supposed to uphold the law. And I'm just thinking, what is it? F around and find out.
Dude, it's wild. And like the thing that I think of too is like, I mean, if they're really doing their job, like I know I was in the military for a little bit, and if I'm really doing something and you're hopping in front of my vehicle, that sucks a whole lot for you.
Yep. Yeah. The other thing is like, if I gave some pushback to the other side from the left, I do understand this. Bernie Sanders was saying something about ICE having to be masked up. There is something about that. Now, I know it's like protect the identity because the left has been really seeking people out and trying to cause harm and stuff. But this concept of authoritarianism in the sense of like some dude just jumping out in a mask who's like, involved with it. That's, to me, I'm just like, nah, like we got to have there has to be a balance. We have to be able to see your badge number in your face. Like, and I'm not trying to be like weird about it. I'm just like, I'm just thinking like, if I'm rolling around and Darth Vader jumps out like, yo, let me see your identification.
Dude, and I love what you're saying, because like, here's the thing. Even as I talked about my experience in the military, I am not a fan of the militarization of police and law enforcement in the United States. I'm against that. But and there's so many different directions we could take this. However, like on that topic, I do think they should be able to keep their faith because people are targeting them. They're targeting them and their families. Yeah. But you're spot on because I'll tell you, like if somebody hopped out on a mask with me, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Like I know what I'll do. Like I'm not, but like look, I'm not gonna let another man like take me out of my property, take me and put me into a cell. Like I'm not doing it. So you're right. It is like a weird.
And it's just frustrating because I'm like, okay, so first they need to be demasked. There's no reason for them to have a mask, but there is no reason for them to feel this threat and pressure that because they're not wearing a mask, they're going to get taken out. Yeah. Both of those are just ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just out of control. And I think Charlie Kirk exposed that because you're like, oh, you're willing to see how far people are willing to go to take someone out at like these high levels.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, like, based on the current state of things, I think it's entirely appropriate for them to be covered up because like just look around, like look at the things that have been happening. I was watching something yesterday. It was somebody in Congress talking about some of the violent extremism that we've seen in our country over the past like 5 years or so now, specifically, especially in the summer of 2020. Like there's been so much going on and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see this because I really do love our country so much. Like I love the people in it. I love what makes us unique. I love the foundation of our nation. I love how we got started. I love the Declaration of Independence. Everybody should go read that and understand that. And it's just so sad to me to see how divided we are. And I think a lot of it has to do with ignorance and indoctrination. I think a lot of people, they get into an echo chamber and we've got to make sure that we don't do that. And that's why I love talking to you because your perspective isn't one that's like, hey, somebody else shaped it. You actually like seek to learn, know, understand. And nobody's telling you what to think. You just exercise your ability on how to think. And I think that's so important. And I see so many people not doing that. Yeah. And it's sad.
I just try to see both sides. And I came from the other side of the tracks. And, I grew up more left-leaning with my ideology from high school. And so I understand a lot of these perspectives. And then now that, I have a family, so naturally with a traditional family, you're going to lean right because traditional values, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I want to see a better place for my kids. And I know it's not going to happen with me just, the left is going to destroy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the ones that absolutely want anarchy, communism, etc., they will destroy it. But not all of them are there yet. It's just like this. It's like the Hunger Games. They're propaganda's highlighting the extremities on both sides. Yeah. And we're not really getting anywhere.
And, it's interesting, too, because I know you know a little bit about where I come from. And same. Like I come from an environment where it's not necessarily the way that I thought growing up is not the way that I think now. And it does have and I haven't dove deep into this mentally, but like in you just saying that, it makes me realize it has a lot to do with taking on more responsibility.
Yeah. Because when you have we'll watch this, but you're right. Because that entitlement, all these little things I see with people, like a lot of these college kids, I had similar views until I had to go out and dig through the mud to get it. And you turn into a diamond, you build your character, all these things where you're like, holy shit, you just transform. Yeah. And then the next stage of human development, in my personal opinion, is having kids.
Oh, it's game changing.
So
game changing.
Did you?
All these people don't want kids, and never mind. We won't get into that.
Yeah.
Just the word pig on the side of an officer's car.
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment right now.
Well, let's watch the video of what happened that day that they are. When you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said, I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Did she just sign off?
Rage quitting over simple questioning is exactly why activists can't actually serve in Congress, as sure she can parrot all their social media programming at a protest, but offers nothing in terms of how this helps her movement, other than giving her a viral moment to relive. Every single time she logs onto social media, we're getting lightly shoved as the most interesting thing about her life, which is becoming a huge problem with the left as a whole, as they've effectively championed victimhood, where getting arrested, attacked, or anything that attracts pity immediately places them in the center of attention, as now the Democrats are starting to look like what I call Disneyland handicaps, where a while back they let anybody in a wheelchair go right to the front of the line until basically everybody suddenly had a wheelchair. And that's the modern day Democrats. As at that protest, she's not even the only one being indicted, as that cat candidate is running for Congress. But also, another cat running for a seat on the Cook County Board. And some straw man is trying to be a trustee. And honestly, I think it all leads back to that senator from California that got arrested by the feds. He literally went on a press tour for months constantly crying about being cuffed, where I don't even remember his real name other than California's saddest sobbing senator. He never shares any individual political stances, any actual solutions to accomplish anything, but constantly gets to be on TV because he's California's saddest sobbing senator. But to the Democrats, crying is like a form of currency. As that cat girl claims right-wingers call for her arrest because she's the only one that can stand up to ICE and Trump. Well, let's be clear, these activists have done nothing to stifle ICE.
First and foremost, those operations continue. They continue unabated. The temporary restraining order and the meetings with the judge and all the other accoutrements that comes with what her orders are that will have no effect on Operation Midway Blitz. We're going to go out there and we're going to accomplish the mission. We're closing in on 3,000 apprehensions as we speak. We're going to speed those apprehensions up, and now we're even going to go harder. Now, Harris, we go harder now, and I'm not worried about it at all.
As Trump's DOJ is now going months back to arrest all these ICE antagonists.
To date, we have charged 97 individuals either with assault or impeding of federal agents engaged in immigration enforcement operations, and we will continue to charge more as we obtain the evidence. Every American has a right to peacefully protest. What is not constitutionally protected is a right to engage in violence or to impede federal agents by assaulting, doxing, or obstructing their operations.
And even in some...
Yeah, you going back to that doxing. That is... See, this is... And see, it's like... Oh, man, it's wild shit. Because that's the last thing you need is a mob showing like you're just like... Oh, man, yeah, it's wild stuff.
You've seen it all over. Like, they're literally attacking law... Like, they've killed them in some cases. They're throwing... You saw them just a second ago throwing a rock at these folks. It's like, yo... I don't know, man. Again, it's just a sad situation that when I look across and see how divided we are amongst these things. But this decoy voice said something about victimization here a minute ago, and it just made me think. Like I don't think a lot of people think about this. I do. When we think about being a victim, like what would you say emotions do you think are associated with being a victim?
So low vibrational. I'm not. I'm trying to think of how I would express this emotionally because it's almost like it's so not me. It's like, okay, I have to go to this place where it's like, oh, everyone's out to get me, cry baby, like the whole victim. I always call it the victim Olympics. Like, oh, let's see what bad can happen to me today. It's almost like you're looking for the worst case scenario in everything. And essentially it just goes back to the glass is half empty or half full type of thing.
Dude, and all of what you just said, like these aren't positive things. Like when we're in victim space, like if you've ever been a victim in any way, growing up, maybe somebody picked on you or even law enforcement, whatever.
Real victims.
Yes, real victims. Yeah, yes.
There's a difference.
Yes, there is a difference. And when you're in that victim space, it's fear. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's terror in some cases. Like it's all negative emotions, and that's what I'm going to.
Scarcity.
Yes.
It's all of these different negative emotions for sure. And then the other thing is sometimes like when we talk about real victimhood, that is not like so what we're talking about in today's society is a idea or like a cloak that people are putting on like, oh, I'm a victim when they're really not.
But there's still that ideology is still triggering those same emotions. So you have a bunch of people walking around in this like literally just space of negativity.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why we're seeing that perpetuated. Like I can't stand going on all the different things and I look, everything's negative.
Yeah.
Everything's negative that we see in any social media, any news, anything like that. And it drives me insane. But I would encourage anybody because the opposite, when I think of victimhood and the opposite of that is like power. Because when we think of it a place where we're power, like think about you sitting here right now. This is your space. Yeah. There's a level of comfort. There's a level of confidence. There's a level of just, this is yours and you are in a space of power.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage anybody, like, rather than looking of like, okay, let me be in this place of victimhood and find out how people have wronged me or something that's, whatever. And instead get into a place of power to counteract those negative emotions with positivity. Anyway.
Yeah, and it is really rare for people who are spouting off the negative stuff on Facebook to have a different outlook. It's always just like a lot of doom and gloom. And sometimes I'll fall victim to that thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, AI is gonna take me out, bro. These, but.
I gotta catch myself, saying, because I'll see people engaging, and I'll scroll every now and then. I try not to be on here too much, but I'll scroll and I'll see people saying stuff, especially right now here where we live. There's things that are happening that I'm seeing people engage about, and I'm like, yeah, I want to hop in here and say things, and then I find myself like, hey, you know what? Unless it's uplifting, unless it's positive, unless it's doing something to contribute in a good way, I just gotta keep it shut.
Yeah, I feel it.
Some recent scenarios, even shooting them.
And an officer-involved shooting. We believe the officers in question were federal agents, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and
crazy.
FBI.
So this Democrat cat running for Congress gets shoved aside multiple times and now faces 14 years of prison time, taking her Gen Z TikToks to Gen Pop, but somehow in her mind that amounts to, I'm the only one that can stop the Trump administration. That level of delusion should be disqualifying, but the Democrats don't actually have to accomplish anything. They're now the official party of vibes. Just look at the mayoral race in New York City. Their local idiot is campaigning on free everything, with New York's governor stepping in to echo his same stupid sentiments. Only to later state, this isn't realistic.
We know that Mamdani does want to tax the rich more, bring it up about 2%. He can't do that on his own. You've previously said that you wouldn't be raising taxes. Have you reconsidered that stance?
No, I would say one energetic rally does not get me to change my positions, I assure you.
But don't let that stop the Democrats from giving him a 94% probability to win. You'd have to be hitting a crack pipe to believe that pipe dream, but ironically, I'm sure that's the one thing he'll make free. As again, it just proves they're officially the party of vibes. NYC can't make everything free, just like Chicago can't stop ICE. But I don't think it matters to their voters as long as they get their feel-good vibes from all those artificial likes from Chinese TikTok. So if you appreciate my insight.
Well, that's it. This whole thing in New York, I live in New York, so I don't have a dog in that race. I was watching Elon and Joe Rogan talk, and I think Elon said something, and you've probably heard quotes and sayings like this, but it just popped in my brain. And he was just talking about how many boats are coming from Cuba to America versus boats going from America to Cuba. Right. It's just, it just is what it is. So we'll see how New York pops off. Everyone's saying that dude's going to be the mayor. They're saying he's got it in the bag. That's what I've been hearing.
I can't. You know how hard for me, I think it might happen based on because I'm seeing the same things, but you know how hard it is for me to believe that anybody would think that what he's talking about would be any type of good. And so we'll see, you know what I mean? If he gets elected and starts implementing some of those things, and if he can get everybody on board to make sure that what he's talking about actually happens, I think everybody's going to come to a rude awakening, and I think it's going to be great for the opposition.
Yeah, so there's a part of me that just wants him to win. So we can all, experience is the best teacher.
Watch.
So let's just see if it works. Then maybe I need to open my eyes to something,
Straight up.
right? But my thing is I felt this way for certain things. Let's say I saw in California, and it's prolonged way longer than I thought. I was like, how are they stretching this out? I was like, you guys can't see it burning yet? And it's just our whole city burnt down, and we didn't have funds or insurance left. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And I'm like, okay, all right, I guess everyone's moving to Florida.
Yo, me and Daniela were looking at that recently.
All right, you guys, let us know what we got, what we missed. This is my buddy Nathan U. Wheeler. If you want to see him more on here, holler at us. We have some good conversations, and we will catch you on the next one.
City boy, city boy.